Imagine for a moment that the most powerful tool for a meaningful and fulfilling life cannot be bought, earned, or received from others. It is already inside you, waiting for you to open it and start using it. This is not just a thought experiment, but a reality based on the wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that has helped people live purposeful, stable, and peaceful lives for centuries. Stoicism teaches us that the key to living a worthwhile life lies not in external recognition or material success, but in the ability to value ourselves through qualities such as wisdom, courage, justice, and eternal principles. Throughout the ages, Stoicism has been not just a journey of self-improvement, but a true adventure of rediscovering one's worth and learning to live in accordance with one's deepest convictions. If you're ready to open the door to personal freedom, sustainability, and fulfillment, you've come to the right place. Let's embark on this adventure together, exploring how the application of Stoicism can illuminate the path to a more realized and peaceful life. Stay tuned for the continuation of the video if you're here. It means you're not like most, you're the first acceptance is accepting less than you deserve. We've all accepted less at one point or another, whether it's a grueling job, a relationship that doesn't bring inspiration, or giving up a cherished dream because of fear. We compromise, convincing ourselves that it's the best thing to do. But why do we do this? What drives us, fear or convenience? Probably both. Stoicism teaches us that our true worth and essence are not dependent on external circumstances. It doesn't matter whether we are in a palace or a prison. Stoicism reminds us that it is not the situation that defines us, but our reaction. The point is to understand while we cannot control every aspect of life, we have absolute power over our own perceptions, judgments, and actions. By settling for less than we deserve, we are actually recognizing that external circumstances affect us more than our own will. Stoicism invites us to challenge this perception. It encourages us to ask ourselves, if this situation is consistent with my true values, am I responding to it in a way that reflects my true worth? If the answer is no, Stoicism doesn't leave us hanging. It empowers us. He says, look, you have the opportunity to change your perception, choose your reaction, and thereby change your reality. So when you find yourself settling for less than you deserve, the size of your bank account does not determine your true worth. It lies in your ability to stay true to your values, to act with courage, wisdom, and integrity, regardless of the circumstances. It's not about blaming ourselves for situations, it's about empowering ourselves to see and utilize the control we have. Let's not settle for less, not because we are entitled or arrogant, but because we recognize our worth. Let's meet life's challenges with the strength and resilience that comes from recognizing who we are and what we are worth. And when we do, we don't just live, we thrive in true Stoicism. The second is minimizing one's accomplishments. Stoicism, for all its deep understanding of human nature, encourages honest and fair recognition of our efforts and accomplishments. Why is this important? Because recognition of accomplishments is not to feed our pride, but to recognize the work, discipline, and perseverance necessary to achieve goals. It is also a recognition of our dedication to our own goals and value. When you write off your success as luck or downplay it as something anyone can do, you're not just downplaying that way of thinking. Start valuing your accomplishments without slipping into self-glorification. The Stoic approach is about balance and honesty. It consists of saying, yes, I worked hard for this. Yes, I faced challenges and overcame them. And yes, this achievement is a reflection of my qualities. It's about giving yourself credit, not to gratify your ego, but to recognize the truth. Now think about what you have accomplished recently. No matter how big or small it is, think about the virtues you have shown to achieve it. Perhaps you showed incredible discipline, took a step out of your comfort zone, or applied your wisdom to solve a problem. Whatever it is, take the time to recognize it. Appreciate the qualities behind your accomplishment. This exercise is not about patting yourself on the back, but about seeing the truth about your character and efforts. Embracing this Stoicism can radically change the way we view our successes and ourselves. It forces us to abandon false modesty and move toward a sincere assessment of our. Prioritizing other people's needs over your own is a common scenario, isn't it? Staying late at work to help a colleague, skipping a morning run to make breakfast for the family, or putting your own work aside to support someone else all seem like noble, selfless acts, sometimes even heroic. But here's the catch: if you're constantly putting others first at the expense of your own well-being, it can lead to burnout, resentment, and loss of self. It's like trying to fill cups from an empty. Stoicism is not detachment or selfishness. In fact, it places great emphasis on virtue and improving the common good. It also teaches us the crucial importance of self-care. Why? Because self-care is not selfishness. It is the basis for effective care for others. Stoicism reminds us that in order to be of service to others, we must first make sure that we ourselves are in good condition physically, mentally, and spiritually. Let's break down the dichotomy of control and understand what we have control over and what we don't. Our own thoughts, beliefs, actions, and yes, self-care are all within our control. The well-being of others, as much as we would like it to be, is not under our direct control. But what we can control is how well we are willing to offer help, support, and love to those around us. Think about it: when you are well-rested, healthy, and calm, how much more patient, understanding, and effective are you in promoting their well-being? It's not just about physical health, it's also about mental and emotional resilience. It's about having the inner resources to provide compassion, wise counsel, stability, and strength to others. So how do we find that balance? How do we make sure we are not neglecting our own needs while helping others? It all starts with realizing that self-care is not a luxury or an afterthought. It is a necessity. It means making time for things that restore our energy, whether it's exercise, meditation, reading, or just time alone with ourselves. Or just a few quiet moments alone with ourselves. It means setting boundaries and not denying ourselves when we need to. It means doing all of these things not out of self-indulgence, but out of a desire to be the best we can be for those we care about. Think about how you can prioritize your well-being. Maybe it's taking a daily walk, making time for a favorite hobby, or setting boundaries. Not being able to accept compliments is a lesson that Stoicism teaches us. It teaches us to look at ourselves objectively. This means recognizing and celebrating our strengths as openly as those in which we need to improve. It is about recognizing one's worth, but not in a selfish way, but in a balanced and fair way. Often we focus too much on our shortcomings. Stoicism encourages us to see ourselves as we are, without exaggeration or the shadow of insecurity. Accepting compliments is a way to practice self-reflection and objectivity that allows us to see our strengths and efforts. Understanding and recognizing ourselves through the lens of Stoicism allows us to develop and grow. Decision avoidance is a reflection of a lack of trust in ourselves. Wise decision-making is not a guarantee of outcome, but a reliance on wisdom and reason. Precision, knowing that whatever the outcome, it will contribute to our development and understanding. So how do we strengthen our decision-making muscles, so to speak? It all starts with the acceptance of wisdom and reason. Before making a decision, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, does this choice align with my values? Am I acting with integrity by basing my decisions on core values and reason? You can rest assured that whatever the outcome, your choice was made with the best intentions and knowledge available at the time. Stoicism teaches us to accept the results of our decisions and learn from them. Any outcome, whether we expected it or not, carries with it valuable insights. It is an invitation for reflection to understand what worked out, what didn't, and how we can apply those lessons in the future. This process of reflection and learning builds self-confidence, gives us the confidence to make decisions that reflect our values, and to grow from any experience. Excessive self-criticism is obsessing over your shortcomings and failures, digging into yourself for every seeming misstep. It's like trying to steer a ship without paying attention to the wind and tides. We balk at these milestones, and wisdom calls it an illusion, an unattainable mirage. On the contrary, it is progress, constant and deliberate steps toward becoming better. Whatever the outcome, it will contribute to our development and understanding. Even those that don't produce the results we hoped for are a step forward. Progress rather than perfection becomes our mantra. This doesn't mean we become complacent or indifferent to improvement. Rather, it means we pursue growth more zealously, but with the wisdom to realize that growth is often non-linear and fraught with challenges. Constant comparison with others. Why is it so easy to fall into the comparison trap? In part, it's about human nature. We have an innate tendency to measure our worth and accomplishments against those around us. And in the age of social media, this propensity is amplified to an unprecedented degree. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to this affliction, cultivating self-awareness and gratitude for our own journey. It encourages us to redirect our gaze inward, to focus on our own personal growth, worthiness, and the progress we have. Lack of personal investment. You probably have frequent moments in your life when you put off the things you want to do, starting a course, a hobby, or even neglecting self-care. And it's not just a lack of time or resources. At the heart of it is often an inability to recognize your own worth. Stoicism, with its deep understanding of human nature and ethics, encourages us to view self-improvement simply as a form of self-esteem. It means recognizing that we deserve to put effort into ourselves, our growth and development, just as we do into other aspects of our lives. Stoicism teaches us to view every effort as an expression of self-respect, as an investment in our own well-being and self-determination. Therefore, to overcome our lack of personal investment, we can look at ourselves with understanding and compassion, recognizing that every step, even the smallest, toward personal growth and development is of great value and can lead to meaningful change in our lives. When we begin to view ourselves as an investment, we become more motivated and resourceful in achieving our goals. We realize that our own development and happiness are just as important as taking care of other aspects of our lives. Lack of personal investment. We probably all have times in our lives when we put off taking action. Why does this happen? Sometimes it is because we fall into the trap of fleeting pleasures for which short-term gratification is more important than long-term satisfaction. Other times the reason may be deeper, a lack of self-esteem or a belief that we don't deserve to invest in ourselves. However, every human being has innate value and potential for virtue. Investing in one's growth, whether it's learning a new skill, exploring a hobby, or taking care of oneself, is recognizing and honoring that value. But how can we begin to invest in ourselves? According to Stoic philosophy, it all starts with a change of mindset. We need to see self-improvement as an important, optional aspect of our lives. Instead, we need to make small, consistent investments in ourselves. This could be reading a book on a topic that interests us, meditating for a few minutes each day, or taking up a hobby that brings us joy. Stoicism also teaches us the importance of reflection and introspection. Practicing regular self-reflection helps us understand our strengths and focus our efforts on personal development. By taking stock of our lives, setting goals, and reflecting on what we have accomplished, we develop a sense of purpose and direction. It is not just about achieving external measures of success, but about aligning our actions with our values, developing our strengths, and living a life of purpose and meaning. Enduring a negative environment is like being in a dense forest where the air is heavy, the path is unclear, and every step feels like labor. Whether it's a toxic workplace that drains our spirit or a personal relationship where we feel unappreciated, being in such an environment often stems from deep-seated insecurities. But this is where Stoicism offers us a mirror and a map. The Stoics believed that our environment can significantly affect our ability to live virtuously. We have a responsibility to shape our environment and choose our associations wisely. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that thoughts have tremendous power in shaping our reality. But why do we tolerate negative environments? Often it is because we underestimate our capacity for change. We may fear the unknown, cling to the familiar, or doubt our worth. Stoicism challenges these fears and doubts, encouraging us to recognize our inherent worth and the power we have over our choices and attitudes toward life. Stoicism offers tools to navigate and transform our environment. Nurturing inner resilience and self-reliance helps us stay true to our values, even in the midst of chaos and negativity. By developing a strong inner core, we become less susceptible to environmental toxicity and more able to make choices that align with our well-being. Now, for the fear of realizing dreams. Why does it so often overpower us? We are keenly aware that we may fail. Our minds paint vivid pictures of failure, of wasted time and effort, of condemnation from others. But Stoicism recognizes these fears and invites us to ask ourselves, what can we gain in the end? It encourages us to weigh our fears against the potential for growth and the fulfillment of our dream. The pursuit of virtue, perfection in accordance with our nature, is itself a worthy endeavor, regardless of the outcome. One Stoic practice that can help us overcome our fear of dream fulfillment is the anticipation of evil, or negative visualization. By contemplating worst-case scenarios, we don't wallow in anxiety, but reduce their power over us. By contemplating possible difficulties and accepting that we are capable of surviving them, we can cheer ourselves up and build confidence. We often find that our fears are not as scary as we had imagined. This doesn't mean we become reckless or ignore risks. Rather, we approach our dreams with a balanced perspective, realizing that failure, while possible, is not the end, but one step in our journey to growth. What chain inspires us to chase our dreams is the concept of changing or loving our destiny. It's the idea of accepting whatever life throws our way, not just with submission, but with enthusiasm. When we pursue our dreams, guided by the principle Amor Fati, we open ourselves to the full range of experiences, successes, failures, joys, and disappointments that are part and parcel of the human experience. Such acceptance frees us from the paralyzing grip of fear and allows us to move forward with courage and determination. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of acting in accordance with our own worth and potential. It reminds us that our true worth is not measured by external accomplishments, but by our commitment to a virtuous lifestyle, striving to achieve our goals with integrity, diligence, and courage. Before embarking on the pursuit of our dreams, Stoicism encourages us to examine our fears and recognize that they can be overcome. It encourages us to focus on the potential for growth and development that can be achieved through overcoming difficulties and accepting challenges. The inability to recognize our own worth is another aspect that Stoicism helps us to understand and overcome. It teaches us that true value comes from within and not from external factors. Recognizing and accepting our inner worth allows us to free ourselves from dependence on external evaluations and begin to structure our lives according to our own values and beliefs. Feeling unworthy of happiness is another obstacle that Stoicism helps us overcome. It teaches us to redirect our attention from external factors to internal values and goals, freeing us from the need to seek approval and validation from others. Finally, Stoicism offers us wisdom and insight to help us overcome fears and obstacles to happiness and fulfillment. It encourages us to live courageously, to appreciate every moment, and to pursue the virtues and wisdom that make our lives happier and more fulfilling.